you're getting 6 of those. So 5 page,
Quoi?
one website profile, 5 pages, and 6
Qui ça?
keywords. So this is all for your money site. All right. Once you do that, you're going to go and you're going to go into the campaigns. And the way you set up the campaign, I'll show you the way I set them up. You could always play around, but this is what I found to be the best. Is you want to pause instant traffic because this is using proxies, and I find it to be really crappy. You want to select your website from the list. So you got to select your website. And then what you're going to do is you're going to set the maximum visitors 5 per day, maximum concurrent visitors to 1. You want to have your starting URL to Google. This is the default that they have, google.com/ncr. But if you're doing a local, like a country-specific campaign, you want to use your Google of country, if that makes any sense. So if you want to rank things in Canada, you want to use google.ca. If you want to rank things in the UK, you'll use google.co.uk. If you want to use Australia, then you got to use the Australian Google. So specify the Google you want to use to rank your content. Otherwise, if it's an international keyword, like it's just, I don't know, how to talk to girls or something, then you want to use the google.com/. Alright. Next thing you want to do, keyword should be your keyword. That's pretty obvious. Max negative SEO. I always put this as 0. I don't think it does much. I won't bother spending time with that. So I put it to 0. I don't want to hurt anyone else either, right? So, and I don't really think that would help or hurt them too much, anyways. The next duration deviation is 50. I set that standard. Then what I do is I add 3 pages from my site, with the first one being my target page. So when you do the search for this keyword, you always put the one that you think it's going to find first, and that's going to be your first one. Then you have a subpage and a subpage again. So that's how you set up your campaign. And what you want to do is you want to set up a campaign for that, for all the keywords that we created. So you had 6 keywords that we created. So in this step, you had all these keywords. So you want to have a campaign for all of those keywords, and every single keyword is going to be receiving 5 people per day. So it's not much, but it's definitely enough to get you going and kind of start sending signals that like stuff is happening on your site, right? So that's where we want to be. We don't want to get banned. We don't want to do things too strong. We just want to feather them up, and then as we move forward for more competitive things and all that, we could increase. So don't worry, we could increase in the future, but start off very, very light. It's all about, with Google, it's all about light touches. It's all about doing everything slowly, natural. This is what we want to do. Then what you want to do, step number 27, what is the Panda Boss step, is we create even more blog posts. And what I like to do is I like to use semi-private blog networks. So things that you don't necessarily own, because you could only own a limited amount. I mean, technically, if you own a bazillion private blog networks, you can just use yours again. But what I do, because I don't own that many, is I use semi-private blog network posts. So blog networks that people don't all have access to, and like people to really take care of them and are very secretive about them. I order 5 of them. So there's 2 ways of doing it. Either you have a lot yourself, either you have a friend, you share with your friend, either you have, there are some open networks and closed networks that close, and those are always different, so I can't really say a name now, but there's also SEO Nitro, or you can actually use PosiRank, and if you go on PosiRank, you just order, and you're going to get, the ones I do are going to be PR4 with a chance of PR5, and I will just order them, and I will put my keyword, long keyword, always the long keywords. And if you, what you want to have is you want to have 5 of these, so 5 PR4, PR5 blog posts, and you want to have 5 articles. So I recommend, if you want the simplest and quickest thing, go to PosiRank and get 5 of those done. That's what I usually do for a lot of my sites. I just don't have time to do it. And otherwise, I will use semi-private blog networks. Sometimes I use SEO Nitro. Sometimes I have other sources as well. So, just actually, go back, just so we're clear, right now we're up to 10. So we had 5 of your own private blog networks, and now we have 5 other like semi-private blog networks. So we're getting a lot of juice going to the page or the site. There's we got some juice. Step number 28 is going to be where it gets really interesting, and this is the post. So authority post is going to be a real post on a real website with real traffic. It's kind of like getting featured on like Huffington Post or something. But this is like one of those. It conveys trust, it conveys power. This is very important, but it's also sometimes the hardest and most expensive thing you can get. So what you want to use is on Posi Rank once again is if you want to just get it done, you want to do this on a very large scale, I recommend you use Posi Rank because they can scale this way better than everyone else. And you go and you get a guest post that's DA 50 plus or a minimum of DA 40 plus, and you order one of these.
Wow,
posts
ça a 2015.
This is the only exception where you're going to want to use your exact match keyword because these are so valuable.
Non, c'est ok,
and
c'est
so important.
c'est ça. Elle
Most of the
est
time,
née
I
à la
will
fin de l'année,
use
c'est
a
ça.
very close or my exact match keyword. So
Ils l'ont
exact
pas
match
mis en
keyword, I almost
2015,
never
mais
use
on
it.
met ça.
I really don't. Like I think I only use it once or twice. But this would be like one of the
c'est
times
juste
where
ouais.
I'm using the exact match keyword because
C'est comme moi,
these are
moi
so
je suis né le 30 décembre.
So optionally, if you don't want to use Posi Rank, you could actually use Blog Dash,
regarde
or
mon
you can
âge,
actually do
nous sommes dans
manual
l'église de
outreach
la
on
31, mais
related
en
sites and
réalité, il
paying
va avoir
$100 to $400
à la fin
for
de
a
l'année.
sponsored post. So there's secret sauce style links, and if you want to have and you want to scale this up, you can use staff and have them contact sites. And each site you contact, hey, I'd like to do a sponsored post. I'm willing to pay like $100 to $400, and can I get a sponsored post? And then if they say yes, then you give them a sponsored post and you have a link inside. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I could have an entire course on this, and actually kind of almost do, but this is the alternative method, and this is gonna be the really quick method where you just pay to get Posi Rank to do it, and they take care of it for you. The only downside is this is gonna take about 45 days. So this whole process takes that into account, and we work with that under the assumption that you're going to be using Posi Rank to get these and crank them out on a huge volume. So step 29 is going to be 6 guest posts. This is kind of like why we're talking about Posi Ranks, because it can accommodate huge amounts of volume. So 6 more guest posts. And you want to order 3 DA 30 plus guest post links.
Forget about guest posts.
With different.
You just write the articles, and then I will take care of the payments.
Long tail anchor text. So here you could go and get 3 DA 20s and you get 3 DA 30s. So this part is you want 6 get. I search my keyword, so whatever keyword you're going for, and I set the time to past week. Usually that, and it costs medium quality and one really high. Gilly.com, right? So omgilly.com is going to be a search engine specifically for forums and discussions and all that. So what I do is I go to omgilly.com and I search my keyword, so whatever keyword you're going for, and I set the time to past week. Usually this is fine. Sometimes you might have to set it to past month, but I set it to past week, and I go to the top 6 relevant results, and I register an account, and I leave a reply with a link back to my site. So these are going to be linking back to the main site, and I just use raw URL. And these are real sites with real moderators, so you have to have really good replies, right? You cannot look spammy. When you go in, you have to have a real account, real name, and a really good reply. But once you do, you have a link back to your site, and usually they'll get approved. So this is going to be one thing that you need to do, and you need to get 6 of these. This is really powerful because this is extremely relevant and extremely fresh. That makes a big difference. Now, we're done with phase 1, and you need to, once there's been a lot we've covered, but what you do is once you're done phase 1, you want to take a minimum of 21-day break. You want to remember, one of the aspects of link building, what makes it successful, is that we do it slowly. So all of these steps we just went through, you can do them a bit day by day, but you want to make sure that once you kind of have done all that, you give it a break, right? And then I will see you right for the next phase, phase 2.